We've all had those experiences on projects at work or school or in the community, where we've come together with others to do something new, something different, something innovative. Sometimes those experiences can be exhilarating. We've come together as a group, we're excited and energetic, we're proud of what we develop, and we leave wishing we could work like this more often. Other times, those experiences can be soul-crushing. We're disappointed in the results, the team doesn't communicate, there's frustration, conflict, and we leave thinking that it's a waste of time and resources. What makes these so different? Why is one so positive while the other can be so negative? I think it has to do with the building blocks of innovation, and that's what I'm going to talk with you about today. What are these building blocks? Process. Innovation involves a deliberate process. While it may seem serendipitous, there's almost always an underlying approach by which ideas are shared and integrated and improved upon. That may be as simple as an agenda for a meeting, or it may be a very complicated series of steps to achieve a very specific outcome. Process is important to innovation. People, particularly teams of people, are important to innovation. People that have different backgrounds, different experiences, different ways of looking at the world. People that come together to leverage their strengths and build a new collective vision that's greater than the sum of each of them as individuals. When you bring new people together that don't know each other, that speak different languages, or use the same words in different ways, that means that you need a process to build trust and to foster communication. So people and process are important to innovation. Place. Innovation is nurtured in a place where you have the space and tools to be creative. I think of it as a playground where ideas can play and interact, evolve and build. This is both a physical playground where you need tools, sticky notes or markers, snacks and coffee, but it's also a mental playground, a place where you can make the other areas of your life go away, where you can focus and dream and be inspired. You need a place that's different than where you typically operate, a place where you can come together with people and have a process around innovation. Products. Innovation develops new products. And when I say products, I mean that in the very broadest sense. A product may be something physical, a prototype or a presentation or a paper, but it can also be something much less tangible, an idea, a strategy, a relationship, or a feeling. Products are the result of innovation and are an outcome of the people, the processes, and place that you put together. Perspectives. Innovation enables new perspectives. Innovation should change people. Innovation is about sharing ideas, and when ideas are shared, they're implicitly received. And when you receive something, you are forever changed, sometimes in ways that are imperceptible, but sometimes in ways that are profound. Perspectives, like products, are outcomes of innovation. They result from the people, the places, and the processes that were used to get there. And finally, progress. Innovation accelerates progress. It makes things better, cheaper, faster. But it's important to understand what is it you're trying to achieve. How will you know that you've been successful? What are the measures by which you can demonstrate improvement? Progress, perspectives, products, people, places, and process. These are the building blocks of innovation. It's not about one of these items. It's about how they work in supporting each other and the way that they are supported by each other going forward. They form a greater whole, like facets that come together to form a cube, an innovation cube. Innovation is about a deliberate process to bring together people from different backgrounds and experiences in a place where they have the tools and space to be creative. When you do that, you can enable new products, enable new perspectives, and you can accelerate progress. Too often, when we try to innovate, we don't consider all of these elements and the delicate balance and connections between them. Take, for example, an organization that wants to move in a new and different direction. All too often, they go about doing it by taking their usual A performers, bringing them together in the usual conference room where they always meet, and beginning by asking the usual questions. Is it any wonder that such a situation rarely results in a new product or perspective or progress? If you want something different with your elements, you have to put them together in a different way. You have to change things up. Add new people to the team. Meet in a different location. Change your process and your agenda, the way you approach things. Here's another example. We have a stovepiped organization that wants to facilitate communication between two separate teams and entities. They may do that by taking groups together and bringing together in a conference room, over lunch perhaps. How often in that conference room, instead of having conversations, people sit through an hour of PowerPoint, at which point they get up and they go back to their lives. The product we wanted to get was relationships and communication. We may have gotten information exchange, but we had the wrong process to achieve the outcome that we wanted. So when we think about innovation, we have to think of how all of these elements work together. When we don't think about them in concert and in balance with one another, our cubes can become distorted. They no longer work. You can't build them. They're not foundational. So what does a balanced cube actually look like? Well, I'll give you an example from my world and my experiences. I work at Pacific Northwest National Laboratory with over 4,000 colleagues who bring our technical and scientific expertise to bear on some of the nation's most challenging problems in energy, environment, and security. We're a pretty innovative organization, and we've done some amazing things and had impact at the national level. But we are an organization of humans, and humans are creatures of habit. We too fall in our comfort zones, finding ourselves meeting with the same people, thinking about problems in the same way. Getting in our comfort zones, we've realized, is hard to break out of. It takes resources and time and energy to do something different. And so we've been experimenting with different ways to create that energy of creativity and collaboration and foster a culture of innovation. One example is a program that I led last year called QCamp. QCamp was designed to bring together people from across our organization to work in ways that they had not done before, to leverage our individual capabilities and working across them in a way that we could develop new products, new ideas, and new perspectives between them. So we started with the people. I went through a process to select and identify 17 staff from across our organization. We had nuclear engineers and physicists, data scientists, graphic design artists, even a veterinarian. We brought them together so that they could think about new problems in new and different ways. Because they didn't know each other, we needed a deliberate process to foster communication and trust, to give them skills that they could actually work with going forward. This process involved them meeting every afternoon for a number of weeks in a place where they could have the tools and space to be creative. It was both a physical place that was very different than where they started from, where they would normally spend their time as researchers or scientists. It was a place where they had sticky notes and markers, toys, electronics, robots, and lots of coffee. It was also a mental place because we brought them together every afternoon for a number of weeks. they could get into a different mental place. They had the space and the time to dream and be inspired, to build their ideas and come up with something new that none of them could do on their own. So what did they actually develop? Well, they developed products. They developed prototypes, which you can see next door. They were driving robots with brain-computer interfaces. They were looking at illegal fishing in the Bering Sea. They developed many exciting things that our organization had not seen before and leveraged the strengths of all of them in the group. We also got ideas, dozens and dozens of ideas that, again, would not have come from them as individuals, but together, collectively, they could do something different. We have new perspectives. So those perspectives and new viewpoints on the world, some of them have been changed in ways that may seem imperceptible, but several of them have been changed in ways that are profound. One of our Q campers in particular came out of the Q Camp experience and went back to his projects and did a complete restart. He approached his team in a new and different way. He asked for their help in identifying what was the right problem and what was the solution, and realizing they could do many things that he had never thought possible. He has a new perspective on research, and he's applying it in what he does. And finally, progress. We're making progress through Q Camp and through other innovation efforts. We're moving things forward. We're accelerating the ways that we're responding to our technical needs. We're doing things on the matter of weeks and months as opposed to years. We're making progress by watching the teams and the relationships that were formed. People that didn't know each other, but are now working as teams on a day-to-day basis on their projects. We're looking at progress by opportunities to talk to others and to share our experiences, to share what we're learning about innovation through venues like this and others, and to find like-minded people that want to explore these creative ideas themselves. These are the elements and building blocks of innovation. Innovation involves a deliberate process to bring together people from different backgrounds and experiences in a place where they have the tools and space to be creative. When we do that, we can develop new ideas, enable new perspectives, and accelerate progress. So the next time you're thinking about innovation, thinking about something new or different, think about the cube. Have you thought about all of the elements? The process, the people, the place, the products, the perspectives, or the progress? I invite you to stop by next door and pick up your own innovation cube and keep it as a tangible reminder of what you can do to drive innovation in your world. Thank you.